Hello everyone. I am Cheryl.
My name is Jesse.
And in today's video, we are doing another episode in our series of buying a home in the Netherlands as expats.
Yes, today's topic is cost breakdown of all the fees you need to pay when you're buying a home.
Juicy. This was probably the most important thing that we were so curious about when we were looking for a home, even before we were serious about the home purchase. This was the first thing we tried to find out, and we actually found it kind of hard to find that cost breakdown. There's so many fees and charges that are different than what we would have paid in Vancouver, Canada. So we thought it might be helpful and maybe fun to just go through each line item and just talk through all of the fees that you might be paying when you're purchasing your home. Not everything afterwards. Obviously, you're gonna have to pay for your mortgage and all of that furniture and all that stuff afterwards. But no, this video is just about the cost of purchasing your home.
Keep in mind that we are not maklers, real estate agents, or real estate experts.
Or brokers.
Or mortgage brokers. This is just information that we have learned along the way when we were buying our home last year in the Netherlands. Take that with a grain of salt.
Exactly. All right, let's get into it. All right, so cost breakdown. I'm gonna bring out my handy iPad so we can go through this with you. First one
is mortgage broker. On average, it ranges between, let's say, 1,200 to 2,000 euros. It could be more, but that's just the average range.
Yeah.
And the prices depends on your situation. Maybe you have a simple situation where you and your partner are both employed by a company. That could be a simple situation. But if you're like us, where I'm employed and Cheryl is a freelancer, the situation could be a bit more complicated.
And
expats.
Yeah.
Then the price may vary a bit higher because of our situation. Actually, we recently created a video about mortgage, so we'll link it up here for you to learn more about how the mortgage broker situation works in the Netherlands. But yeah, that is basically the rough estimate, 1,200 to 2,000 euros for a mortgage broker.
Perfect. Next line item, we have your notary transfer deed and your notary mortgage deed. So a notary is this third-party guy or girl who basically writes up official contracts for you. So there's two official contracts. There's one for the transfer of the home purchase. So if the home that you purchased is owned by a previous owner, then he needs to basically write a contract to be this house is going to be transferred to you, and that will cost around 600-ish, and then the mortgage deed that she also has to write a contract for the mortgage deed. So that's the contract between you and the mortgage loaner, and that will be another 600-ish. So in general, the total for your notary fee would be around 1,000 to 2,000 euros, just depending on the time, the year, the notary, all of that. All right, next up, bank guarantee. This bank guarantee is basically after you sign the contract, you'll need to typically put in a deposit of 10% for the seller. And if you have that money, you can pay the 10%, and if the sale goes through, then no problem, you get your 10% back. But if you don't have that 10% saved, then you have to pay approximately 1% of the 10% of the purchase price, which means that the bank will lend you that 10% deposit for now, and then the fee that you pay is just 1% of that amount that they're lending you. All right, so that's bank guarantee. So that's a couple hundred there. And then next line item is
the real estate agent, also known as the makelaar. So on average, the price for a makelaar would be 2,500 to 4,000 euros. But what we see as commonly done by the real estate agent is it's either a fixed fee or based off a percentage of the purchase price. So what we also see commonly is that depending on what the price point of the house is. So for example, it could be 1% for any homes that are below 400K. Then it might become 2% between 400 to 500K.
Yeah.
Just to give you an idea of
kind of tiers, right?
Yeah, it's tiered pricing.
Depending on which range of budget homes you're paying for. So again, yeah, couple thousand there. That's probably, oh, by the way, the real estate agent is an optional thing. So you don't actually have to pay this amount, or you don't actually have to hire a real estate agent. We also filmed a video about real estate agents and why we went with a real estate agent.
We'll also link it up there.
So yeah, watch that video. If you're unsure whether you need a real estate agent as expats, I'll give you a teaser. We went with one because we think it was so worth it. Yes, it was probably the most expensive part of the whole home purchase, but it was worth it. So watch that video to find out why. All right, so next fee that we have to pay for is the valuation, or also called the appraisal report. So this one is a couple hundred, like I think for us it was around 600 euros. I think price will depend on which valuation you go with, and also whether you're evaluating a home, like a house or an apartment. I think it kind of varies there, how complicated the valuation might be. Every mortgage requires appraisal report. With this appraisal report, you'll do it and then you'll give it to your mortgage broker, and then or your mortgage lender, and then they'll kind of tell you whether you can lend that amount of the value of the actual home. So,
correct.
Yeah, so that's around 600 euros there.
And the next one is the structural surveyor. So I guess the inspector.
Yeah, inspector, same thing.
On average, a couple of hundred euros. I think we paid 500 euros for ours. Basically, this person will make an appointment with you so that he or she can check the structural condition of your home, whether it's an apartment or a home. Because I guess the Dutch government doesn't want anyone to buy a home without them knowing that there could be potential structural issues with the home that they're purchasing.
Which is good. And it's also mandatory. So also, like, I think all of these things are mandatory fees except for the real estate agent. But yeah, definitely you'll learn about this. Like, this is something that either your real estate agent or your mortgage broker will tell you to make an appointment to in order to go through with the purchase of the home. And did we say how much it was?
Yes, a couple hundred euros. We paid 500 euros, I think.
Yeah. Next up is the interpreter. So this is an interesting one.
Yes.
This is actually a mandatory fee for expats.
Yes.
So if you don't speak Dutch or you can't read Dutch, then you need to hire an interpreter for your notary appointment. Yes. So when you're going into your notary appointment and you're signing all of your contracts, you have to hire an interpreter. Our interpreter was 275 euros, and that interpreter will sit with you, and the notary will be like talking in Dutch about every line item in the contract, and then the interpreter would translate it into English for you. So again, this is a mandatory fee if you don't speak Dutch.
Yes. And the last one is property transfer tax, and that is 2% of your purchase price.
Yes, quite a bit.
It is, but however, at the time of this video recording, there is a rule that if you are under the age of 35 and your home purchase is 400K or less, you don't have to pay the 2% transfer tax.
Yeah. So there's that perk, and also if you are buying a brand new build, so like a new home, then you also don't have to pay the transfer tax because you're not transferring ownership. That's the property transfer tax is basically the fee to transfer the ownership from the last owner to the new owner. So I think there's also a couple of scenarios where you don't have to pay this transfer tax. So just look into that. Oh, one note about if you're 18 to 25. 35? No, 18 to 35, yeah. If your one partner does not qualify for that, but the other partner qualifies for it, and then you split the home ownership 50-50, then 50% of that, so you're basically paying only 1% property transfer tax as opposed to the 2%. So 50% of the purchase price will apply.
Yeah, that was a quick breakdown of all the costs involved during the home buying process. So in total, overall, I think that's roughly what, 5 to 7% of the purchase price?
Yeah, exactly. And that price will obviously depend on the price of your home, whether you're buying a house, whether it's a new build, your age, like as you saw, like there's so many factors in terms of what might affect the price or the cost that you have to pay. So I hope that was really helpful. Like I know when we were looking into home purchase, like this was kind of a cost breakdown that we were hoping to get, because some of the names of these, like, I don't know, valuation report, like I had no idea what that was because I've never bought a home before. So hopefully a little explanation in layman terms for you was helpful. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. So if you did find this video helpful, then give us a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel. We talk all about our expat life here in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. Right now we have this series all about our home purchase process in Amsterdam. So we have a ton of videos about that. We're also going on a lot of vacation around Europe this year. So we recently just came back to Italy. So we also came back from Italy. And so if you want to watch all of our foodie adventures, go check out that video as well. And more videos are coming. So subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.